Hello and welcome to Dasharo user group number 4. It's time to start our fourth party this year and last one, I guess. Let's start with some greetings, agenda, and some Dasharo community status. Okay, so what is this? What is this event about? Like maybe you are first time here and you would like to know. So essentially, like we started vPubs during the COVID time, and we figure out that this is quite successful way. There were like 50 people coming on virtual party where we just like snip some adult beverages, talking about open source firmware, offensive security, defensive security, future of open source firmware, and various related stuff. Initially, we just call it virtual beers, but then it transitioned to like a vPub with some branding. And this year we started to like add it a little bit more structured, formalized wave, where we want to start with like presentation with the status about the Dasharo open source firmware distribution, core boot downstream, and of course about its other components like tooling and for example our EDK2 fork. So we're starting with 2 hours of this more structured way where we invite our partners, where we invite our team members to present some topics regarding Dasharo. And after that, we're switching to virtual event where we have more casual atmosphere. And the focus of that event is like to have very short introduction, like 5-10 minutes demos, and we doing that every demo or present like small presentation top of the hour. It's like typically 3 or 4 of those, and then we're sitting as long as we can, talking and like freely discussing open source firmware and drinking our beverage of choice. So let's start. I'm very happy to have you all here. Thank you for joining. And yeah, so let's see what's the agenda for today for Dasharo user group meeting. And by the way, I of course left the #3 here. It should be #4, but other stuff are correct on this slide. So yeah, we started with greetings and agendas. In a couple seconds, I will show you community status. Then after that, I will present Dasharo toolsuit status. So Dasharo toolsuit is our distribution which we use, like a Linux distribution built using Yocto, and we're using it for deploying Dasharo and provisioning platforms with Dasharo. Then we will introduce a new tool that we configured, we created recently. It's called a Dasharo configuration utility. It happened that every BIOS firmware related company needs the configuration utility. We thought we don't have to, but reality showed that we really have to. And I will give very short introduction to that topic. After me, there will be Maciej Pijanowski. Our engineering manager will talk a little bit about open source firmware validation status. The introduction should be on last Dasharo user group, but I had some technical problems. I don't know, like bandwidth or something, or maybe our instance didn't work correctly. But anyway, this time I hope the server will work way better. And yeah, so that Maciej will give introduction to this open source firmware validation framework that we published. This is a completely open source set of scripts that we're using for validating Dasharo. And there is some bigger message behind that, because we think that the validation in terms of long-term maintenance of the firmware is very important. And then we will have our top presentation, or like I would say, like not saying most important, but crucial for the community presentation, where we present roadmaps for various supported hardware, or maybe not yet supported hardware, but the hardware that we plan to support and how things going on. I changed a little bit the format of that, but hopefully it would be still enjoyable. Then final presentation is from Wessel. And Wessel from Nova Custom, the CEO of Nova Custom, and he will talk about the new Nova Custom community forum, Heads firmware status update, and also would like to call for beta testers of the firmware on Nova Custom devices. After that, we will switch to the vPub and less formal atmosphere of discussing open source firmware. So yeah, so let's start with community heartbeat, and let's maybe a little bit talk about the bottom side of the slide. I will always trying to get back to some history and tell when things happen. So essentially, Dasharo Matrix channel was created 5th December 2021, and then like after a couple months, there was like a huge announcement, first release of the Dasharo for MSI Z690 platform, and it was like big boom because it was like modern desktop platform supported in open source firmware ecosystem, and we had a very good media coverage, and we were very happy to spin off this community even further thanks to that project. And then after that, we regularly started to do Dasharo user groups. First was this year in March, and the next every quarter. And of course, we already have some plans. We already have some calendar for the next year events. It is not set in stone because various things may happen, but we have some plan. So let's look a little bit about the statistics on the left side. We see the statistic around GitHub. On the left bottom side, you can see that there is already almost 600 defects. It's, I would say, like 600 total because those are like open and closed. And since last Dasharo user group, it was huge growth of this new bugs. We are very happy that there are new bugs coming because if anyone working in open source community knows that the number of bugs is not the factor, not the number that's saying about the quality, but the number about activity. So we can see at the CubesOS, for example, they have like, I don't know, 3,000 or something issues. But that's good because they have a lot of ideas. They can work very long on that. They have a lot of discussions, a lot of people looking at that, and that's very important for the community. Of course, those bugs cannot not fix it forever. So that's why we have to show some progress and have to do something every quarter and deliver some stuff. So we fixed already 245 bugs, 50 bugs since last Dasharo user group. In case of our core forks, the core boot fork already has like 443 pull requests total. There was almost 40 created since last Dasharo user group. Total merged number is like 333, and there's like 93 which were just closed because of some problem or those branches were moved to other place. I have to speed up. So anyway, like in case of EDK, it's like 4 times smaller. Yeah, and in case of activity on GitHub, like we have way more active users, 12 more active users, which is like very good growth for us, and quite a lot of comments and quite a lot of discussion. So yeah, Wessel is like number one person who's replying and discussing topics on the GitHub, and others are the same as like I reported last time. In case of right side, we have Dasharo Matrix statistics, and I'm very happy that we have already gained 30 users on Dasharo Matrix. It's over 230. My hope is to reach the level of open source firmware Slack, where they have like over 1,000. That's my goal, but we will see how this will go. So this is exactly the same thing, but expressed a little bit different. These are pull request statistics for Dasharo core boot fork. And so you can see like we have like 17 open. We have slowly bigger and bigger backlog of open pull requests. But we also growing the number of merged one. So I just hope that we can keep this tempo and keep this development and deliver more value to you in that way. In terms of EDK2, it's a little bit smaller. The numbers like by the way, like I generated those graphs using Python, so like not everything is very well looking, but I will work to improve that and present that better. Anyway, these are the same numbers for EDK2. And this is maybe interesting statistics. This is how so on the x axis you have dates of the Dasharo user group events, and I just checked the issues at those points, and you can see we are all-time high in open issues, and of course we also all-time high in closed issues. That's very good. But we are very happy that the community is so active. Yeah, and this is number of users on Dasharo Matrix community channel. It's growing very fast. Like this year we doubled. Essentially, I would not say this year. It's like over 9 months we were able to double number of users on our Dasharo Matrix community channel. So I'm very happy, and I welcome everyone who is new here. And I hope you will stay with us and contribute to Dasharo and help us bring more trustworthy to every possible device on this planet. That's our mission. Yeah, and that's it for this presentation.